So welcome to the new participants. Good morning to everybody, good afternoon, depending on where you're joining us from. So welcome to CIAT 2021 Technology Creative Gannet Engineering presentations. So today we are excited to announce a new partnership with our UK partner Catagen. Catagen are after treatment testing specialists based in Belfast, Northern Ireland. So 30 years of industry experience. They have patented technology called Omega Recirculating Test Reactor. So I will let our Catagen experts go into a deep dive into their technology, and it's really fascinating. And to our knowledge, at this point, there is no existing option in the Indian market which offers quite the same kind of expertise that Catagen does. So needless to say, we're really happy and excited to introduce to you our customers as well as our partners, employees, interns who will, I think, be joining us shortly to our new partner, Catagen. And we have some participants from them on this particular session. So let us jump right into the fireside chat. Ideally, this is called a fireside chat. So we should actually ideally be sitting around a fire or something. Zoom does not offer this feature. Oh, there you are. Okay. Okay, I see you.
Good afternoon.
Okay, so I think I saw everybody. So once again, welcome Dr. Woods. Dr. Woods is co-founder and CEO of Catagen UK. Also welcome Dr. Kurtis Irwin, as principal engineer at Catagen. Manjunath, many of you would already know Manjunath. He's a well-known figure now in Indian powertrain. So he's chief engineer powertrain at Gannet. Let's just jump right into it. Dr. Woods, could you tell us a little bit about Catagen's history, how you came to be as a company, how and when, why did you start the company?
Well, firstly, I'd like to say it's a pleasure to be here today, and thank you for inviting us along, Manju and Madhu. And we're very excited about the partnership that we have developed with Gannet, and we look forward to exploring and bringing on new colleagues and teaching them about our technologies and capabilities, and helping them meeting the ever more stringent emission standards. But just a little bit of background about Catagen. Actually, a long time ago, it seems like a long time ago, I graduated from Queen's University in Belfast with a degree in mechanical engineering. So I'm sure a lot of the participants today maybe had the same career path. And at the end of my degree, I was deciding what to do next. Back then, I realized that future emissions were going to be a major problem of the future. So I wanted to get into understanding emissions. And at the time, Professor Roy Douglas was doing research in the area and offered me the chance of doing a PhD in aging and characterization of automotive catalysts. So I jumped at the chance, and what I done was I teamed up with Roy. But in the early days of the research, we very quickly realized that the tool set that was needed to develop catalysts did not exist. Specifically, the tool set to age catalysts and to do it reproducibly and with high accuracy of data did not exist. The other big problem that we ran into was that we had no money. So this is a typical sort of a trait in universities. So we had no money, and we had to overcome these problems. So how we went about doing that was using our ingenuity, and we designed a new type of test reactor. And it's a recirculating test reactor was the concept that we developed back then. But that recirculating gas reactor is the basis of what is the Omega technology hosted by Catagen today. And we have a fantastic group of customers and partners, and we're continuing to grow and expand across the world, offering our world-class services. So the problem for the vehicle calibrator is to have highly reproducible aged catalyst parts, and they already have a difficult job on their hands with so many variables. But at least that's where Catagen and Gannet can come in, where we can offer that high quality aged part, but then also the really high quality data that comes alongside that in test report.
Right. So can you elaborate a little bit more on how specifically Catagen helps partners and customers meet stringent new emission standards?
Yeah, so just following on a bit from the last question, we formed a company in 2010 based in Belfast, and at that stage we knew we had something important, because a very large German catalyst manufacturer came to us and asked us to do testing for us, and they were very impressed with our technology. So really, we've built up the company over time, and we have now got a team of industry experts in catalysis, PhD scientists and engineers, using this unique tool set. And the purpose of our company is to clean and decarbonize the air. And I think that's a pretty important goal for companies like ourselves and Gannet, to dedicate ourselves towards sustainability and improving air quality and reducing CO2.
Right.
So currently we have world-class facilities here in Belfast in the UK, and we have 12 of our patented Catalyst Omega test reactors. And we are internationally certified by the UK Vehicle Certification Agency, which is an international certification and accreditation. Also, we are certified by IDIADA, Atlas IDIADA, which is a pan-European and international certification. And we've received approval from the US EPA and California Air Resource Board for projects that we've done as well. So we're delighted about that. But we focus on working with high performance customers here in Europe and the luxury car market, and we have a number of key customers in those areas. Very notable household names, and we're really proud to be working with those partners. We also work very closely with leading motorcycle manufacturers from Europe and the US, and we're really excited about the prospect of working with some Indian motorcycle manufacturers as well. And we also support the larger OEMs that may have internal resource and capability, but we are here as an expert on hand to supplement that resource and supplement that expertise whenever needed for any non-standard test work as well. So I'm pleased to say we're the fastest growing technology company in Northern Ireland for the last 2 years running. And we hope to continue that trend and work towards our purpose of cleaning and decarbonizing the air of the future.
Oh, wow, congratulations. I actually didn't know that. So thank you for that detailed perspective. Actually, it brought a question to my mind, because I know a lot of folks, and this is to Manju from Gannet. Manju, I think a lot of people in India might be asking, a lot of OEMs might be asking, we already have vehicles on the road. Okay, they already have catalysts on them, right? Yeah. So why do we need a new sophisticated new technology to do catalyst aging? Okay, is it necessary? What really triggered this in Europe? And basically, you can maybe tell us more about why you think this may be required in India in the coming years.
Yeah, thanks for the nice question. And the answer is very simple. It is regulations driven. If you look at today, that all the OEMs are working for the regulations for 1st April 2023, from all the two-wheelers to three-wheelers to passenger cars, heavy-duty on-highway vehicles, they have to comply with increased durability requirements and OBD monitors and OBD emission thresholds, which are new to that categories of especially OBD monitors and OBD emission thresholds. And also real drive emissions also going to apply for passenger cars and heavy-duty on-highway vehicles. Coming to off-highway markets, they still have more time till 2024. But if you look at all the other categories, from 1st April 2023, with increased emission regulations, basically in the durability requirements, OBD, and then OBD emission thresholds, then RD, right? So I see a new, like, if you look at durability requirements, it's almost like doubled. Earlier it was 80,000 kilometers, now it is 1,60,000 kilometers. So with respect to increase in these conditions, right, we really need better catalyst aging processes, which helps manufacturers to predict things in a right way.
Understood. So primarily regulations driven. That makes a lot of sense. Kurtis, did you see something similar, like an e-curve or anything similar in Europe? Was there a transition like this?
Yes, very similar trends in the emissions legislations, where they're continuing to get more and more stringent, which is an increasing pressure on the OEMs to achieve the emissions limits or targets for tailpipe. So by being able to work with Catagen and apply our specific test reactors in the Omega machine, we were able to provide the deep level knowledge and requirements to ensure that the after treatment systems continue to meet these emissions legislations.
I see. Thanks a lot. Manju, following on what Kurtis said, what categories of vehicles do you think will adopt these methods first? I think you already expounded a little bit on that with the regulations, but which categories do you think will take it first?
Yeah, so if you look at different category of vehicles, right? Let me classify it to two-wheelers, three-wheelers, passenger cars, heavy-duty on-highway and off-highway. So each of these categories apply different technologies to achieve the emission thresholds.
Right.
Okay. So if you look at BS6 standards for passenger cars, heavy-duty, and then two-wheelers, three-wheelers are already in place. And coming to two-wheelers and three-wheelers, most of these particular vehicles, before 2020 April, most of the things are running by mechanical engines. And coming to passenger cars and heavy-duty, there are already electronic control engines, and also OBD2 monitors are in place for such categories. So ideally, if you look at passenger cars and heavy-duty on-highway, should lead the market in these areas of catalyst agings. But if you look at the other way around, right? So two-wheelers and three-wheelers with increased volume of vehicles in India. So we also see there is a need for proper aging catalysts for two-wheelers and three-wheelers as well. So it's a tricky answer to say like either which one is going to take first. But in my opinion, I see both passenger cars, heavy-duty categories and two-wheeler, three-wheeler categories has an equal chance to start leading it, but off-highway market is going to take as a follow-up process because, as I said, there is regulations driven, right? So 2024 is the one for off-highway, so that category will be the following category.
No, maybe we can get some clues because Indian regulations, as we know, are adopted from EU regulations. So that brings to question. Maybe Kurtis, do you have any comments on the vehicle categories and who will adopt it first based on what happened in Europe? Or you can maybe tell us your experience in Europe.
Yes, very similar to what Manju is saying. That we think the light duty segment leads the way here in Europe. Certainly in the automotive industry, they are the most advanced in emissions technology, and the motorcycle industry, two-wheelers or three-wheelers, are now catching up, let's say. And then heavy duty also, the emissions legislations on heavy duty is continuing to get stricter. One of the new regulations that Manju has mentioned is E2, and that is a current challenge for the industry across multiple applications. But one specific example that we can talk about, we've actually released or published an SAE technical paper on creation of OBD limit motorcycle catalysts using different aging methods. We collaborated here with our motorcycle partner KTM to achieve OBD2 limit catalysts. So it was very difficult for KTM to achieve the OBD threshold on their own, just through engine aging, due to the increased efficiencies of the powertrain and the increased durability of the catalysts. They were struggling to degrade the catalyst enough. So we were working together then, and the catalysts came over to Catagen. We were able to apply our methodologies and Omega test reactor to further age the catalyst and give them reliable representative age catalysts that they could put back on the engine and the word has lost me. Validate to the engine and then tune the ECU around that.
That's fantastic. I noticed that in your in the agenda you had this KTM case study. So I expect we'll hear a lot more technical about this a little bit later when you talk about it. That's great. Look forward to that. So that session, folks, is I think another half hour from now. So don't miss it. Whatever Kurtis was talking about, you'll hear about it in more detail shortly. So Andrew, I think it's fairly, from our perspective, it's clear we can learn a lot from Catagen's experience. Can you tell me what you hope to gain out of the Catagen Gannet partnership? What are you looking forward to coming to India?
Well, firstly, it's for us, it's about relationships and trust. Business is conducted really. It's all about people. So we in Gannet we have found a like-minded organization of highly skilled engineers and people that have dedicated themselves to sorting and cleaning up tailpipe emissions. So we're delighted to have that partnership, and we think we have found a great team within that. We also, I suppose, the way Catagen approach our business relationships is that we develop very close relationships with our partners, and having Gannet on the ground to support in the Indian region is going to be fantastic for us, because you guys can be close to the needs and the wants and the desires of Indian partners who are struggling or may have issues to solve, just like KTM that Kurtis has just mentioned, where we were the only supplier that actually could solve that solution or solve that problem for them. So I look really forward to developing a much closer working relationship with Gannet, but then also with other partners within the Indian region. And we will, of course, be visiting the region from time to time and hope to meet many more people as time goes by. But also just please join Kurtis's session later, where he does a deep technical dive on our capabilities and how our approach and methodologies are really making a difference. But really, a question back to you, Madhu, is what benefits do you see for Gannet and having a partnership with a UK company like Catagen?
Oh, well, actually, it's almost impossible to add to what you already articulated. So as you said, business is about relationships and people on all sides. It's with the partners, technology providers, with our team and employees. Okay, it's with our customers. So it's all about relationships. And when we started Gannet, we started as a very highly motivated small group of people who had worked around the world with in different organizations, and we had a passion to try and reduce, you can say, the emissions impact here. We articulated clean technology and road safety as what drives us, not a specific algorithm or a technology. So that way, that was Gannet as a startup. Right? We didn't go to market a specific algorithm. We went to the market saying we're going to try to solve clean tech problems and road safety. When you take that approach, we have to be willing to learn, and we've got to be humble. We've got to work with a lot of people because you cannot do it alone. So from the start, we have invited talented people who have the similar, motivations, who are already successful in their niche areas, and they've applied it somewhere successfully, right? So we think such folks can combine with us and take it to the market, right? So Catagen fits perfectly in that particular description. So I think and even from a business perspective, we always have to balance short-term goals, okay, with the strategy and the fitment, right? So strategy and fitment, as I said, is perfect, but the timing is also perfect, because in 2021 end, and as Manju articulated some time ago, I think the regulations change in India are huge. And so from a practical perspective, it's really a no-brainer, because it's like saying that the problem that we wish to solve here, okay, has been there in Europe in the fairly recently, and Catagen's proprietary technologies have solved it there. So it's a very safe bet to transition it, adapt it to the Indian market, and that's where Gannet comes in with our team of experts, and solves fairly similar problems in India. So from a practical short-term and medium-term goals perspective, it makes a lot of sense. But the main driver is, as you said, working with like-minded people who share our passion for creating sustainable technologies, enabling sustainable development, right? So that's why I think that this is going to be a good partnership for the next several years, as we go to hydrogen, as we go to other technologies, right? It's going to sustain. So that's the reason. Yeah.
Brilliant, brilliant. Well, we're very excited about it, and we look forward to seeing how it progresses.
Same here. Thanks, guys. I think that was a fantastic session to start out with. I personally liked it a lot more than if we had each made a corporate presentation. So we got to learn from your perspectives and share our own.